What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today, and today we have the NG Models January 2023 releases for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video, and without any further delay, let's get started, everybody. Really excited for NG Models January 2023 releases. I certainly wasn't expecting them this early, but NG's inconsistencies continue to work out for us, and I'm really excited to take a look at these, and I hope you guys are as well. I also hope that you guys enjoyed the new microphone. I believe this is the first video it will be appearing in, the Scroove MV7. I think it sounds really good, and sorry if my emphasis, I'm still trying to get used to whispering pretty much into this microphone because it's so much different compared to other microphones I've had in the past, but hopefully it sounds good. And I hope you guys are excited for today's video, like I said. So without any further delay, everybody, let's get started. So like I said, NG Models January 2023 releases are already out, and also if my voice sounds kind of dead too on top of that, I'm super sorry, as I was at Dallas plane spotting yesterday and it was certainly a long day, but nevertheless, I'm really excited for this. Certainly wasn't expecting it, like I said, but hey, NG Models doing what they do best. So without any further delay, everybody, let's get into January 2023 releases. Here we go, everybody. Alrighty, we're starting out with a WestJet Boeing 737-600 Charlie Golf Whiskey Sierra Juliet, and this is going to be with the new logo. Glad to get to see this aircraft. This should be a pretty good one for NG here. It looks nice with the logo right here. They did the other livery previously, so definitely getting the iterations in, to say the least, on that aircraft, but it looks good. Also making sure my computer doesn't lag out. I've been trying to get all the settings tweaked perfectly for you guys, so thanks for understanding. But nevertheless, what a great looking aircraft, and I'm so glad to get to see that one from NG Models right there. That's a good looking aircraft. All right, so how about an X-Men Air Boeing 737-800 Bravo 5302, and this is the Sky Team color. So they have done the normal livery in the past. Now we're getting the Sky Team livery. I like the Sky Team livery on mainly any aircraft, and the 737 I think it looks really good on, especially for X-Men Air here. So got to get to see this aircraft, and another really good one to say the least right there from NG Models. Very nice. All right, it's Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 8, the MAX 8 mold already debuting. This is with the Desert Gold retro color scheme named the Herbert D. Keller. Very excited to get to see this. This is the only one I saw on Instagram, so the complete rest of it is a surprise. But yeah, NG Models debuting their Boeing 737 MAX mold. I think this is a pretty good choice for them, especially long term, because this airplane will be around for a very long time. I'm really excited for this aircraft. Gemini Jets about a month ago announced a future release for it. I will probably go for this one, pending that it comes out and looks really good, of course. Personally, I think that, you know, there's obviously been the talk between proportions, molds, price, that sort of thing, all encompassing why people select Gemini Jets or NG Models. Personally, I think the proportions are really nice, and I usually, you know, fixing up aircraft, as long as it's not too bad damaged, usually works out pretty well. So, but I think both companies have their perks, and I certainly support both arguments. So if you want to get the Gemini Jets version, get the Gemini Jets, or if you want to get the NG Models, get the NG Models. But you know, it's one of those things, so feel free to get whichever one you guys want to, but I will probably do this one. Are we going to get the Canyon Blue to go with it? No, we're going to get an Alaska 737-900ER. This is November 265 Alpha Kilo, in honoring those who serve. So NG completing the duo for the 737-900s. They did the 800 about 2 years ago now, in October of 2020, and now we're getting the 900 at long last. So I hope to complete my collection of these aircrafts. I do probably anticipate on getting this, even though I do have quite a few Alaska 737-900s particularly, but I have the Ember 175, the 737-800, and I feel like this would complete the trio, since I missed out on the Gemini Jets release quite a few years ago at this point. So I feel like this is a good opportunity to snatch this up and see what it's all about. So definitely interested in getting this for sure. So most likely we'll be getting that, especially if it looks really good. So excited to see how that aircraft turns out for the HTWS 737-900. Very nice release. All right, Garuda Indonesia 777-300ER again. Very interesting to see this one. This time we have the mask one though. This is Papa Kilo Golf India Juliet. So Gemini Jets did this one, I think it was January 2021. It was around that time frame. I don't know if that was exactly when they did it, but I thought they did some sort of aircraft like this. But we have the Io Paka Masker, I think that's how you say that. But yeah, certainly interesting looking aircraft for sure. They did the normal livery a few months ago. Now we have this one, so definitely a nice iteration. I really appreciate Garuda Indonesia's tail. I think it looks super nice. So glad to get to see that aircraft, and a good looking one, to say the least, right there. Alrighty, Lufthansa Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. This is Delta Alpha Bravo Papa Delta in the name Frankfurt Main livery, excuse me. Glad to get to see another Lufthansa 787-9. This will be a very commonplace aircraft for many years to come in many sectors around the world. So I do appreciate NG for getting after it now, and I think that will be very helpful for them in the long run to get many of these done. Gemini Jets also did theirs too, so certainly various iterations, and I think all the molds are pretty good for the 787. So I'm excited to see this aircraft, and I think it's going to turn out really good for NG models. All right, we got another Scoot 787-9 Dreamliner. So this release encompasses many, not necessarily repeats, but NG's done different variations of these aircraft previously. 9 Victor Oscar Juliet India, and this should be the normal colors. Yeah, so glad to see the normal one. They did the Pikachu one and some others as well, I believe. So glad to see the normal Scoot, and this is probably a good time for NG to kind of dismiss the Scoot. While they've done a really good job releasing all these, I think it's probably time for a break. But I think sometime next year they can probably, or now in 2023, I should say, can come back to some Scoot, but they've probably done enough here, and now we can focus on some different ones. Even though I do appreciate the Scoot aircraft getting done, I think probably some variety would be helpful. So let me know what you guys think about that. And that would also go for the Lufthansa in the Garuda Indonesia. So still looks fantastic though. At least they're doing different iterations. Here we go, an Air France A320-200. This is Foxtrot Hotel Echo Papa Foxtrot, and this is the revised modern livery. If I'm not mistaken, this one has sharklets. Okay, so I was about to scratch my head because I knew we got the fence tip one November, something like that. So now we're getting the sharklet one, and again, for our European collectors, this is very helpful. This is like, Gemini Jets doing the CFM American Airbus A320 compared to the IAE they did a couple years ago. So I appreciate NG knocking out these various ones, and I'll be eager to see if they ever get after some US Airbus airplanes, the A319s and A320s, because I know many people have wanted to see those. But I certainly appreciate the Europe grind, and hopefully some other regions as well, because it seems like mainly Europe has got the treatment for these narrow body Airbuses so far, outside the A321 of course. But the A319, A320, even the A318 have really been orientated to Europe, so hopefully they'll be able to expand on that in the near future. I'm sure they have some sort of plan going, but just some general thoughts there. All right, Air China Airbus A321. Why do I feel like we got this one last month too? This is Bravo 1638. Yeah, this has been a rather interesting repeat release. There's, in the last 2 months, several of these have got done. I think that the Air China one that we got previously was only slightly different. So this is certainly an interesting release here from NG. I'm not exactly sure what their intention is here, unless these are all duplicates again, but I think they're all slightly different. So pretty interesting right there, but we shall see what happens with our next aircraft. Hopefully it'll be a good one. All right, Air China A350-900. I appreciate this release. Bravo 307 Charlie. I appreciate all the releases, of course, but at least getting some variety. This is going to be a good-looking airplane. Air China seems like a really cool airline. I got a surprise Christmas model. You guys might be able to see it way back over there in the corner. It was a China Southern A380, which was really cool for Christmas. So I was glad to get that, and I hope to expand on my Asian fleet in general. So maybe Air China would be another good one to add. But now that I got China Southern, I can kind of build on that and see what I can do with it. So very pleased with that. All right, a Comac ARJ 21700 Bravo 3329 in the test livery. Another one. How about that? So at least we have a different iteration once again. Looks pretty good. Glad to get to see another one done here, and it's a good looking airplane. So I'm glad they're using that mold to its fullest potential if they were to make it, which they obviously did. So glad to see that right there. And now we have a C919, and this is going to be Bravo 001 Juliet. Yeah, again, very minor differences compared to previous iterations they've done. But again, if you're going to make the mold, use it to your fullest potential, in my opinion. So I'm glad to see that they're at least doing that. All right, here we have a IN Y20. This is 20144. This is the low vis iteration here. Another good looking aircraft. Same thing for the other two. If you're going to make the mold, use it to your fullest potential. Can't complain with these releases too much, even though they are pretty kind of repetitive to a degree. At least there are some slight variations. I know definitely select collectors are very particular about that. So I'm glad to see NG doing that for those guys. Is that seriously it? Wow, no kidding. Okay. Do we have any new future releases? Oh, just the AG600M. That's it. So that was one of the smallest NG releases in a very long time. They're probably going really small here for the Chinese New Year, which is very reasonable. Several repeats. I wish they would have chosen to spread these out, but again, at the same time, they've had many diverse releases as of late, so maybe NG just wanted to take a little break here and just do some planes that they knew that they were going to want to do no matter what, and maybe that's what the intention, maybe this is kind of a catch-up release and kind of taking some previous aircraft and kind of, you know, recycling them to a degree, but also putting some tweaks on them to make them their own airplane. So yeah, this is certainly a very different style for NG as of late because they've been doing big releases for quite some time now. So I think this is honestly a good thing for NG. You know, the release itself isn't particularly amazing, although the Southwest and Alaska are both very good airplanes, and I hope to get both of those out, especially the Southwest. That should be very good. I would expect it to get delayed, but hopefully we'll get it soon. The Alaska should also turn out really good. So I think for NG particularly, this makes sense in this place. You know, finish out 2022 strong, start 2023 out moderate, and pick it back up by March, April timeframe. So, you know, to a degree, I can't complain about this release, but it certainly is different, and I wouldn't have expected NG to do something like this, but it is certainly exciting that we're going to be getting some really good airplanes here, including the Desert Retro. I think that's going to turn out really well. So in my humbled opinion, I think that this was a good release for NG at this time. You know, obviously in other months this would have been a big disappointment, but I think for this particular connotation, and the good news is there isn't like there's nothing to buy here. You know, both of these are very hot US aircraft. The Air France will be great in Europe. I think the Air China A350 is another really solid release right there. Some different iterations down here toward the end, and then some normal liveries to round it out as well, which is very nice here. And even the WestJet's a cool plane too. So certainly getting the variety in, but I think for the reasons of recycling and catching up, NG chose to do this. So I think this makes a ton of sense here. Let me know what you guys think of this release. Again, for me, probably the Southwest 737 MAX 8 whenever that gets complete, and also the Alaska 737-900. I think I'll also probably get this despite having several of them, but I think that it will be a great addition to the fleet. And yeah, so definitely a nice month to see to catch up on the budget and also see what Gemini Jets chooses to do, as they should have a release set coming out here in the coming weeks, probably sometime pretty soon, probably next week maybe or so I'm excited to see that. But yeah, certainly a little bit of a slower release. I can't complain with it too much though, as I think, like I said, it makes a ton of sense here in the connotation. It works out well for NG, and they were able to get some catch up, and we still get some cool models out of it, to say the least. So be sure to let me know what you guys thought about this release. Let me know which one you guys are getting in the comment section. Certainly a different vibe, to say the least, here from NG today, but I think it works out well. I think it makes a ton of sense for them in the connotation, and we're, like I said, we're still getting several really cool models out of this, and I think it should be a great release. And I'm sure that March, April will really pick it up for NG, because that's usually, and even February has been good for them in the past. So I'm sure that all those releases will be very applicable. I'm excited to see what they can do with those, and I hope you guys can as well. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I do want to give a huge thank you, since yesterday everybody followed along with the Dallas day trip that I took. So thank you guys for coming along with me on that. In the channel update, I'll talk about the plans with that content. Pretty much, long story short, the spotting video will come first. I'll probably do that in the coming weeks, and then the trip ports will follow, the airliners international trips, which we saw the 777 and the 737-900 from Denver to Tulsa there. And then we'll have both those American 737s, and then hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, there'll be some more flights within the coming weeks, and as a result, those will go into the backlog. So those will follow the American trip reports on more 737s, because why not? Too many of them, and just got them, so that if might as well film them and make them work. But I'll talk about that a little bit more in detail, but I do want to give a huge thank you to you guys for following along with that, and several awesome videos to come. Feel free to check out some of the recent ones if you haven't got a chance to, and if you are looking to pre-order any of these models, I would highly recommend using the Midwest Model Store. Great quality service. I know there's been many issues with some retailers, unfortunately, in the past. So if you're looking for a nice, consistent retailer, I would recommend the Midwest Model Store. And I don't think that there's any other updates that I have to bring to you guys at this time. Be sure to stay on the lookout on Instagram and also all the videos that are coming out. We're going to have a strong close to 2022, and along with that, we'll have a recap and a preview video for 2022 and 2023, respectively. And we're going to start out the year out strong. I have several awesome videos ahead for you guys. I hope you guys are excited for those. But with that being said, that will do for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Excuse me, guys. Take it easy. Everybody stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon, as Redriveraviation is signing off.